the main goal is that we have these sort of donut-shaped noodles all over the field, and you have 3 teams on each side, and what they're really trying to do is go pick up as many of those as they can and shoot them into this elevated goals, and do that as many times as possible within 3 minutes to score as many points as possible. And then at the end of the game, the robots also need to be able to climb onto this suspended chain, and while they're on that, continue to shoot pieces into a second goal. So I learned a lot of stuff at school that's mostly, theoretical based. There's lots of math and physics and that kind of stuff especially. And in robotics, I get to take all that stuff that I'm learning through STEM and then actually apply it to like a, large scale project. So I can learn about, forces in physics, and then I go out on the robot and actually see how that's being applied. And that really helps to reinforce my understanding of what's going on and just make me a, better engineer and scientist overall.
I get to be hands-on with stuff. I mean, I had no idea what torque or anything was before I joined the hot team. Being able to actually feel the force if I'm putting torque onto a nut or something. I can actually see the gears or something turning, or a pulley working. Both building that and seeing it work, it helps me understand it better.
I've learned how to grant write. I've learned how to use so many new machines. I've learned so much. I've learned a lot of new maths, and I've been able to use it in action. So looking into gear ratios, looking into how things get put together, and really understanding all of that stuff is really cool, and I've learned a lot from it.
Just recently, to make a function, I had to use extensive trigonometry, and it's helped me practice those subjects and make sure that my understanding is good not just on a test, but in the real world.
So kind of being at GM, you're immersed in this environment where there's a lot of engineering going on around you. You see, new cars coming through, and you're looking at, different employees walking around, and just seeing kind of the environment that you might be working in as an engineer later in life. And being, a student on the team and getting to work with the tools that they work with, whether that be their machines or their facilities, I'm kind of becoming more familiarized with a very formal engineering process, and that kind of influences me in my design to be more conscious of the high end machines that we're using.
It's let me have access to a lot more tools that I probably wouldn't have learned how to use if I wasn't working in this space, and has really opened me up to new ideas and new being able to work with new materials and new machines. It's been really, really cool.
Working at the GM Proving Grounds has put me into an environment where I'm not really familiar with everything, and it's really encouraged me to collaborate and work with other people just so I know what everything is happening, and especially where I'm going just within GM. But I think it's a great experience to be able to do that.
Working together with both my mentor and other team members has broadened my experience of what math we need to do, what parts we need to find, what tools we need to find to create the machine, that one particular part.
You'll see a lot of innovation because when first proposes the challenge, it's a pretty blank slate. You just have a bunch of tasks and you need to score as many points as possible. So when it comes to designing, especially from what I've seen, is you need to think of these different ways people might be approaching the problem, whether that be making a really large robot that can hit pretty hard and kind of do a lot of defense, or going very small. And just you have this stack up of decisions, and in each one of them you can be innovative and creative and come up with new clever ways to do everything. And seeing that really helps enhance the innovation process a lot. And just kind of being in that room, I got to be one of the leads of the discussion, and seeing all these different students collaborating with each other, reading the rules, figuring out ways to work with them. And just being really excited about this one big engineering task was really awesome for me, and I look forward to doing it again next year.